Good morning, Thrivent. You know, just a quick show of hands, how many people have heard me speak before? One friend. How many of you have not heard me speak before? And how many of you, frankly, couldn't care less whether you've heard me speak before or not? Okay, now, if you've not heard me speak before, I do have to tell you, I do like to use volunteers. Very interactive presentations I tend to give, so just to see who's up for a bit of fun and a prize, because I always give prizes away, just one volunteer who's willing to come up on the stage and give me a hand. Great, 2. Thank you for that. Okay, so let's just do something together. I realize it's early, you've had a big breakfast, you're feeling a little tired, you want to be motivated and inspired, a bit of get up and go. So what I'm going to ask you all to do, something all together, a bit of teamwork, bit of rah-rah, get you going. All I'd like you to do now is a little team exercise. Just follow my instructions, nice and simple. So without knocking the person sitting next to you, just put your left or your right arm out horizontally, just like this. Great, everyone all together? Now what I'd like to do, just by a few inches, is raise your arm like this. And a little bit more, and a little bit more, a little bit more, and now point them up to the ceiling. Fantastic, when I ask for a volunteer, that's what you do, okay? Today is not just about motivation and inspiration, though I hope I do share some of those things with you. It's also about giving you all a toolkit of sales ideas. Some of the things that I've worked with throughout my 25 years in the financial services business, and I do realize that a number of you have been around an awful lot longer than I have. But some of the things that I've developed based on a number of psychological principles and communication skills I want to give you today. Real takeaway, tangible ideas that you can use in your practices from today if you wish. When communicating with clients, we have to appreciate that we deal with a number of different people on a daily basis. So we have to adapt and adopt different strategies in different situations with different people. I think most of us would agree with that. So just to establish what I'm talking about here, to set the scene, if you like, I want to share with you one thought, because I don't know, I guess there's 1,500 people here today. Every single one of you has different personality traits. You communicate in different ways. And I would broadly suggest that there's about 5 different character types, that you will come across in your daily lives, both professionally and personally. I'd like to share with you what those 5 different character traits are. See if you can identify which one you are. Before I share with you some of the ideas that have helped me in my business, my personal and professional life, I want to share with you, if I may, a little story. In 1976, my father, who you see on the screen with my mother, she was actually pregnant with me at the time in this photograph, but my father was a very, very successful restaurateur, had 3 businesses, hugely successful, was diagnosed with lung cancer. Now, in 1976, lung cancer, particularly at the advanced stage my father found his disease, there wasn't very much they could do. After a very long 2-year battle with a dreadful, dreadful disease, my father passed away. And he left my mum and 4 children. I was the eldest, aged just 9. Within just 2 years, my mother lost everything my father had ever worked for. The house, the business, he ran a restaurant business my mother had never worked. Everything that ever been accumulated and built was gone. And the simple reason for that is that the perception was my father, having enjoyed success throughout his career, didn't need life insurance, didn't need financial planning, and as a consequence, no one ever had the courage to contact him. I'm not here today with the answer to, life, the universe, and everything. I'm not here to radically overhaul your business. I'm not here today saying, take on a PA and treble your production. None of that stuff. I'm interested in the quick wins, the things that are going to put more money in your pocket, help more clients, and therefore achieve more success together. So here's 6 very simple ideas. The first idea is something I call an extraordinary letter. An extraordinary letter. Now, let me share with you, going back 11 years now, to the first extraordinary letter I ever wrote. Now, an extraordinary letter, just to set the scene, is a letter I write to an identified individual, typically high net worth, sports star, celebrity, entertainer, business owner, someone with enough wealth to make it worth my while to engage with and therefore hopefully grow my production and my business practice. Because over the years, I've tried to reduce my activity but increase the sales. It won't be new news to all of you that there are only 2 ways to grow your business. See more people, which I prefer not to do now, although in my early part of my career that was the only solution. Now it's about increasing the value of each of the sales meetings that I have. When's the best time to ask for a referral? After you've made the sale. I think generally most of us would accept that once the sale has been made, we ask for referrals. True? I'm going to suggest that you ask for the referral at the first meeting. Let me clarify. Ask for the referral, you set up the referral, which you're then going to get at the second meeting. Very few of us ask for the referral at the first meeting. Now, again on the website, we don't have a lot of time for me to go through this in detail, but one of the ways that you can embed your referral message in the mind of a client is to send your message straight to their subconscious. If any of you are familiar with the way we learn things, all of our habits, walking, talking, breathing, all the other things we do are learned habits because that's information that's stored in our subconscious. All of the interference and negative thinking from a prospect is stored in their conscious mind. It's where all the objections come from. If you can get a message into their subconscious, and there's a very simple technique, you stand a 356% better chance of a yes when you ask the referral question. Scientific fact. So, here's how it works. At some random point during the first meeting, I'm halfway through the fact find, I drop my pen down, I say, your name, sir? Bob. So let's just imagine I'm filling in a fact find with Bob. Bob, before I forget, I make it a professional business practice to work by personal introduction. And the reason I get so many, Bob, when I ask my new clients, is I like to think that what I do is very different from everyone else. So let's just continue. And then I carry on with the fact find. Now, Bob, can I ask you a question? Do you remember, word for word, what I've just said to you?
Certainly.
Okay, could you just repeat?
That you take a very different direction in wanting to understand who I am.
Okay.
Like to that effect.
Absolutely incorrect, Bob. But good effort. Now, Bob, why do you think it is that you don't remember word for word what I just said? What was I doing that was distracting you?
Playing with your watch.
Correct. Now, I did that in a very theatrical way, by the way. I would not be quite as grand or showy as I've just demonstrated, but I did it because I'm stood up here and I wanted everyone to see. Starbucks, Apple, Singapore Airlines, McDonald's, they all create an experience, good or bad. For McDonald's, we know it's not about the quality of the food, but it is an experience. You know exactly what you're going to get from the moment you walk in the door to the moment you leave. Isn't that true? And my final message to each and every one of you is, do not lose sight of what a magnificent job you do. We are fortunate to be in the most noble of all professions. Take 2 or 3 ideas, take positive action, and change lives. Thank you.